On this episode of Motor MythBusters.
Hey, it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Can a turbocharger
Oh, boy.
I hear that turbo working.
make a hybrid more fuel efficient?
3, 2, 1.
You gotta wait till we say go.
And a brake line test
This is starting to feel like a bad idea.
that goes down to the wire.
Oh, shoot.
Meet the team
We'll be at work in no time. This might be the miracle coolant that everybody's been searching for.
with the mechanical expertise
My main concern is structural integrity. I think this is gonna work.
to test all things automotive.
That was beautiful.
The more air we push through, the more fuel siphon out. And boom!
This is Motor MythBusters,
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
where science meets the streets.
Did you buy another car?
Of course, it's a disease, but I love it.
What is this for?
I brought this beautiful hybrid in to put a turbo system on it.
Oh my God.
What is the point of putting a turbo on a hybrid?
I've been searching the web, and I found out that some people have claimed that putting a turbocharger on a hybrid can improve fuel economy.
That's the myth.
Yes.
More fuel efficient?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I love putting turbochargers on things. I know it makes me go fast, but the fact that we may be able to improve efficiency, I'm really curious. Manufacturers do it all the time. So I said, you know what? Let's try it here, see what happens.
And then maybe we could do a couple of different tests. We'll run the car as it is, just stock hybrid. We'll measure the fuel, how much fuel was consumed, and then you can put your turbo in, and then we'll measure it again and see which one's more fuel efficient.
Strong baseline for this beast.
that.
Yeah, and we could build some kind of a fuel cell that we can pull out and measure, so we can see exactly which one is more fuel efficient.
I like it.
I like this too.
How do you like the look of this car?
It's pretty crappy. It's like they tried to
not
make this
cute.
better.
We want to hot rod this thing and maybe even have the turbo come out the hood.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the ultimate hot rod hybrid. That's what
All
I
right.
want.
Do you think anything to do with hot rods when you look at this thing?
It's a different hybrid from most manufacturers, what they would do. This is a 2011 hybrid. So this technology has been around for quite a while. It has an electric motor sandwiched between the engine and transmission. The system automatically switches back and forth from gas and electric. It can turn on at any moment when it's charged, but will usually activate if there are undulations in the road. It has a DC battery pack in the rear, which adds power during acceleration or climbing hills. But during easy cruising, the engine powers the car. When the vehicle is decelerating or braking, the electric motor becomes a generator and converts the kinetic energy into electricity and uses it to recharge the battery pack. So it acts as an absorption unit, as a generator, as a starter.
Yeah.
It sounds... Listen to this. Check this out. Listening?
Ooh.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So
That
it's
is
once
just
again using
screaming
technology.
hot rod,
that
Bisi.
is
I
so-
don't know.
yeah.
That's like,
It doesn't...
Just got my blood pumping. All right,
we're
well,
gonna need to do something major to this.
yeah.
Yeah, so I want to see what we can do to spruce it up a little bit and also make it more efficient.
The team is going to test the myth that adding a turbo to a hybrid engine will make it more fuel efficient. Will this modification give it better mileage, or will the extra boost turn it into a gas guzzler?
All right, I'm just gonna start pulling out this plastic
sounds
and
good.
seeing what we're working with.
Faye and I are removing some components so we can access the car's stock fuel tank.
There it is.
Okay.
Nice. Oop, get that gasket.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right, we've got the stock fuel pump removed, so now we're gonna fit it into an aftermarket fuel cell.
So we're going to cut a hole in this that's similar to this.
Yes.
This is gonna be pretty easy.
So the reason why we're going with an external fuel cell is so that we can easily take it in and out of the car, because we're gonna be measuring our fuel consumption by weighing the gas before and after our tests. We need to modify the fuel cell to fit the stock fuel pump so we can still talk to the car's computer and not give us any issues when we put it back in the car.
Okay.
That looks
Is
beautiful.
that a good circle?
Oh, that is a
Okay.
perfect circle. We are gluing this down with some high-strength epoxy.
so that fuel and fuel vapors do not escape.
I love it.
It looks just like factory,
It
and now we
does.
can use the same fittings for the feed
Yeah.
and for our evaporator function. So to allow us to have accuracy with our own experiment, what we're going to do is use the weight of fuel as our means of measurement. So we need to weigh the modified fuel cell without any gasoline. Wow.
10.5 pounds.
This fuel cell will hold 8 gallons. And the weight of the gas we're using is 6 pounds per gallon. So if we filled it up, it would weigh 48 pounds. But we don't need that much gas for our tests. How many pounds would you like to use for our experiment?
Probably like a nice round number.
I like that.
Like, it's easy to remember every single time and not like, 18.67523.
Sounds great.
But I mean, we could use any number, like 20, 25, 30, something like that. 30
So
pounds.
30 pounds it is.
Okay, well,
Nice round number, including the weight of our cell.
Yeah. 30.
We're ready to throw this thing in our hybrid, connect everything, and get this thing started. Faye looks good.
It actually does look really good.
This looks pretty good. I'm excited because I've never done this before.
This is weird. I mean, why put
is
a
pretty
fuel
cool.
cell in like a hybrid?
This is cool.
No, it is cool. It's cool. It's a fuel cell. It's cool. I agree. It's cool. All right, so we're going to be taking a measurement of the weight of this vehicle with our full fuel tank, just to get a good baseline.
What is the weight?
2,518 pounds.
Not bad. Time to get on the dyno.
Before we take the hybrid out on the road, this is our control test. To see how much fuel it's gonna burn, we wanna get a baseline of its miles per gallon on the dyno.
Lower and low red.
We've decided to set the cruise control at 45 miles per hour and travel 14 miles because at that speed and distance, it will allow for enough fuel to be consumed to see any obvious changes in the fuel economy. All right, we are off on our trip to nowhere.
Okay, guys, 14 miles.
All right, let's check the fuel consumption.
So initially, we started with a 30-pound tank. So I'm curious to how much weight we have now. Oh, 27.4.
Oh.
We consume 0.43 gallons. And since we traveled 14 miles, that is 32.3 miles per gallon.
But that is a terrible amount of mileage for a hybrid. Is it because we're on the dyno that it's not kicking into the hybrid mode?
You're absolutely correct. I did not initiate the electric motor whatsoever. This is purely on petrol.
Right.
And for a petrol setup, that's not bad at all.
For 1.5 liters of Fury, yeah.
Yes. But guess what? Speaking of Fury, we need to take this on the road.
Maybe we should do 2 different kinds of roads. We'll do a flat, straightway.
Yes.
And then maybe take it into, like, hills.
Oh, something
maybe,
mountainous.
Maybe we go up to the mountains.
That'd be great.
What do you think? Do you love this spot?
It's beautiful. Good choice.
Yep.
24.4.
And we're just gonna take it up to 30 pounds.
That is correct. Wow, you're good.
Yeah!
That's good.
Look at that. We're gonna put it back in the car, drive for 14 miles, come back, measure it again, see how much fuel we burned.
And they're off. This scenic flat road means this little 1.5-liter engine doesn't have to work hard to maintain a cruising speed of 45 miles an hour.
I don't know, it feels a little bit lighter.
Ooh.
28.1!
Oh my God. I'm gonna do some calculations.
I'm gonna say we did 45 miles per gallon.
Okay, so 1.88
Yes.
is what we say in pounds.
Yep.
And we know we have 6 pounds per gallon. So that being said, divided by 6, 0.313
Yep.
gallons is what we consumed. So, and we covered
14
miles. 14 divided by 0.31333 recurring. That's not bad. You're close.
I almost called it. 44.7 miles per gallon. But on the dyno, I think we did 32.3.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. Think about it. On the dyno, we didn't have the electric motor come in at all.
Yeah.
Here we had many opportunities for the electric motor to help us assist with the petrol engine.
Yeah.
And we had momentum. So this is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it back together.
All right, let's.
And then we'll head out the mountains and do the same thing all over again.
Sounds good. This This is perfect, Bisi.
Yes, it is.
We got hills, we got windy roads.
Yep, another idyllic test run location. And with the fuel cell refilled to 30 pounds, they'll run the car 7 miles down.
What's interesting now is as we're going down here slightly, we're charging up our hybrid batteries. I don't know, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a tough one.
And 7 miles back up while maintaining the speed of 45 miles per hour.
Oh my God, this hybrid does not like this combination of elevation and hills.
We are back. How much fuel do we burn?
Wow.
27.5
That's 2.5 pounds we
that we've
consumed.
consumed. Here it is, the moment of truth. How many miles per gallon?
33.59. So now we have a baseline for a level road. We have a baseline for a hilly area.
Yep.
I think we need to go back to the shop, slap a turbo system on this thing, and do it again.
Yeah, let's slap
I
a
can't
turbo
wait.
on this. All right, now it's time to turbocharge.
You see, I just popped the hood already. It's for a reason.
All right, so what are we gonna do here?
Everything is factory here, so first course of action is to get rid of all this stuff. On the induction, get rid of the exhaust system, the bumper, because we're gonna have to put the intercooler in the front. And I'm thinking about, since it's gonna be a hot rod hybrid, placing the turbo right here.
Okay.
I found the perfect size that can allow us to have a nice boost, even probably double the power on this.
I could just see the excitement in
I'm
your eyes right
happy.
now. Like putting a turbo on a hybrid, like is this like the best day of your life?
I would put a turbo on a bicycle if I could.
Before we install the turbocharging system, we have to pull the engine apart just a little bit and figure out where we want to position and mount the turbo, wastegate, intercooler, and piping.
It's good, isn't it? So what do you think, Tori? Like right here. It's good, right?
Yep, I love it.
Tori and I took apart the whole front end on this hybrid, and now comes the hard work. I would love for this to come a little bit high here, just a little bit.
Okay.
I need the help of our lead builder, Rose, to fabricate some tubing from the exhaust to the turbo and from the turbo to the intercooler. So to take full advantage of this, we can use a very small pipe and go straight to the manifold of the turbine. And I have a flange for you here, and I have a flange for you here.
Yeah, this is the turbocharger's dream.
It is. It's like a very compact log manifold. It's perfect.
So here's our issue. Oval and a circle. It's not quite round peg, square hole. So this has to be put in the vise and the press and forced into an oval shape. You can see that we get pretty close within just a little bit of modification here in the vise for one side. Here it is. Now we've squished it into this shape. No worse for wear. And there's the flange all the way around. 4 cylinders into one 3-inch tube. It's beautiful. All right, let's snake it back in.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Smashing job.
Thank you.
The turbo is in position, but now we need to come up with a creative way to snake the tubing to the intercooler. Oh, that went in so nicely.
It's gonna maybe take 2 pies in this area to get there. I guess let's just start with a slice here.
So right now, Rose is doing something very special. She's creating pie cuts into the aluminum tubing to give us a tight radius to go from the turbocharger into the intercooler. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. Look at that.
Nice.
The exhaust rods fabricated between the turbo and intercooler fits perfectly. Just a few more adjustments, and then we're this close to the very first startup. Okay. Look at that.
Beautiful.
So we're gonna see some of this.
Do we see smoke coming out of the engine
Yes.
like that?
Well, only because we put some wrap around the manifold.
Oh, so it's
it
starting
doesn't
to burn off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I am so excited. Everything is looking really good. Initial startup, car starts up very nicely, sounds good, idling beautifully. The great thing now is I get to put everything back on the vehicle, tidy everything up. So excited. This is good. This is really, really, really good.
I'll tell you what, just adding the turbo alone has made this hybrid a million times cooler looking.
Well, thank you. Not only does it look cool, it sounds really good too.
All right, well, I guess the question is it gonna be fuel efficient?
Yes, but before we do that, maybe we should weigh it and see what it weighs compared to before.
Okay. All right, the car's on the scale.
Yes.
So before it was 2518. It's literally the same exact weight as before. But that makes sense. I mean, we pulled parts off and then you added parts. I mean, it's just amazing that we hit the exact same weight.
It really is. Now it's time for the dyno. I want to tune the engine as well as find out how much performance we gained with the turbo compared to the stock engine. Looking at the dyno numbers, the stock engine torque was 89.10 pound-foot to the wheels. And with the turbo jumped up to 127.43. So the torque increased by 38.33 to the wheels. The stock wheel horsepower was 84.87, but with the turbo, it jumped up to 133.58. So we got 48.71 more horsepower to the ground. That's over 50%.
Now that Bisi has tuned the engine, we're gonna do another quick test on the dyno and see what data we get with the turbo installed. Once again, because it's on the dyno, the electric motor will not automatically engage. So this will only be testing the combustion engine. My guess is we're probably gonna be burning a lot more fuel. All right, 14 miles, here we go. That turbo. There we go. All right, we made it. Did the turbo make it more fuel efficient or less?
Okay, 6 pounds a gallon.
Yeah.
And we consumed 2.3, so we got 36.5 miles per gallon.
And the last time we got
32.3. So we improved our gas mileage.
by 4 miles. I'm actually really surprised. I thought adding the turbo, we were gonna burn a lot more fuel, but we actually consumed 0.3 pounds less.
That is correct, but in a lab setting or in our cathedral, could be one thing. The real world would dictate what can actually happen. So I'm gonna pull this off the dyno.
All right, then
Let's head on the field.
We'll take a
repeat our
road trip.
test.
I love
Let's
it.
see what happens.
Road trip.
Tory, I love minivans. I mean, it's comfortable, spacious. I can modify them.
They're just not as cool as they used to be. I mean, back in the 70s, they had such cool vans. They had like wall-to-wall carpet. They had like swivel chairs inside.
Right.
You could have a bed in the back.
It looks like I love newer vans. You love old school vans. We both love vans.
Oh, you know what? Do you remember that movie Strange Brew?
Of course I do. That thing is a classic.
In the movie, the bad guys tamper with the brake lines, and he says specifically, I've made it so that these guys will have 2 stops, but then the 3rd time will be no brakes.
Oh my goodness.
So
I don't know if that's even possible.
That's what I'm wondering. What if we tested that?
That sounds really good.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking once you crack the lines, you don't have brakes anymore.
I think so too. So maybe there's a way we can modulate it to some extent. I don't know. But I'm down to test this.
All right, I'm hungry. Let's get some tacos.
It's a cult classic from the 80s. Strange Brew takes the familiar movie trope that cutting brake lines causes catastrophe and gives it a little twist, literally. The myth is a calibrated slow leak will sabotage the brake system so precisely you get 2 stops. But the hydraulics are compromised enough so by the time you need to brake again, well, it turns out that the 3rd one was kind of necessary.
And how's this for a set of wheels? A classic 70s van. Perfect for testing this myth. We need to find out what that PSI number is that will no longer stop this van. All brake systems operate by hydraulic pressure, or PSI, in the brake lines. So when you apply the brakes, it increases the pressure, forcing fluids in the brake line to squeeze the brake pads and bring the vehicle to a stop. So So Bisi has been setting up our brake lines with some sensors.
Yes, I took the liberty of rigging up something very clever where we're monitoring all the brake pressure in our entire system. And what it does for us is I have this great logging dash that could show us minimum, real time, average, and peak.
That's perfect. All we need to do is find that number of PSI that will no longer stop this van.
And that data I will have for you.
You ready for a crazy ride?
I'm ready.
How will we determine the brake pressure point when the brakes fail? All right. You ready?
Ready.
I'm scared of this van. We'll keep gently squeezing the brake pedal to see how high the pressure, measured in PSI, has to reach before the brakes start to work. Okay, you ready, Bisi?
I'm ready. Just give us 40 PSI and see what happens.
Oh, okay. That didn't stop it.
Even 50 doesn't stop it.
Yeah. 80 doesn't stop it. Like, let's get up to speed. All right, here we go. Whoa.
Wow.
That is not stopping.
And we got as high as 208 PSI. I think that's our magic number.
That's incredible, 208 PSI, and it's still not bringing the van to a stop.
Absolutely.
So we found our magic number, 208 PSI. Only at that number or above will the brakes work enough to stop the van.
So I think we should build a rig, maybe on a table that had all the components of a braking system.
That we can play around with.
Right. And then cut or crack open certain parts of that system and see what we can do
To get to the magic number.
to get to that magic number after 2 hard pumps.
All right, I love it.
Now, this front one right here, this is the brake caliper,
Right.
which contains the brake pads, which induces friction to help us stop the car.
So when we're pressing on the pedal, we're actually pushing those fluids.
Yes.
And that fluid is pushing those calipers together.
Absolutely.
Giving us stopping power.
Yes.
Let's talk about the metering system, because we want to know exactly how much pressure we have in each of our brake lines.
Yes, so this is a high-pressure sensor. And the sensor will, in real time, tell us what pressures we have throughout. And we'll place that sensor in the van when we go full scale so that we can monitor the pressure we're getting when we apply the brakes.
Now that we have meters, we can dial in the pressure and see if we can recreate what we saw in the movie where they press the brakes twice and then the next time they had no braking power.
Absolutely.
Now we're not going to have to replace the line every time. We just have to loosen up the connectors.
Good point. So
All right.
why don't you hop on in and then you'll pump and we'll look at the pressures real time. Yeah, let's put your lines to the test. First, Tory, we're gonna do a baseline reading.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Okay, just give me a regular brake that you have.
This is if I'm coming to a slow stop.
Okay, slow stop. Oh, yeah.
That was like 336, 338. Maybe what we should start doing is disconnecting and see if we can get our front brakes around that 208 mark.
So it's important for me to sneak up on the number 208. So I'm going to take count of how many revolutions I loosen this up just to give it a nice crack. And that'll be my unit of measurement, revolutions in this case. 1 full wrench rotation to start. Okay, there we go.
We're set?
Everything's at 0. I need you to give me that first hard pump.
Yeah.
And then a medium pump.
Okay, here
and
we go.
let's see what happens.
All right.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Thanks so much, sir.
Oh my God. We're at 167 PSI on the left, 146 on the right. We're well below our threshold. And that was just with 1 pump, not 3. If you had done this on our van,
Right.
we wouldn't have been able to
at
stop.
all.
The full rotation was way too much. So how much do you want to go?
So I'm gonna mark it and just go
Half a revolution?
not even half, 20%.
Okay. So that's it?
That's it.
Okay, here we go. This is stop number 1, full brake.
Okay.
Wow, look at
so
that.
some came out.
So it's dripping.
Yes.
That's good. 480 PSI on the front brakes. That's gonna be enough to stop the van. All right, this is stop number 2.
Yes. Oh,
Bisi, I think we're there.
I know.
We're at 215 PSI. That would be enough to stop this van.
Yes.
Now, the third stop.
Okay, let me write this down first. Oh my goodness.
I'm getting
2.
excited. So this is the third stop. And if it doesn't reach 208 PSI on this final pump, there won't be enough pressure to stop the van, which means it'll be right on the money for this myth.
Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. Oh my, it's right
208.
there.
208 and 207. We've done it.
It's right there.
We've done it.
I can't believe it. We were able to turn the nut just 20% of a full rotation. And our first reading was 480, second reading was 215, and the third right at 208, which means the van would not stop.
First of all, it's frightening how easy this was.
Yeah.
But just that tiny crack is all we needed to get 2 stops, and then the third stop won't happen. Now we just have to do this on our van and see if we can get the same results. There might be some validity to this myth. Okay, you know, I had a thought about this. This could be a death trap, considering we're trying to make the brakes not work. And if we're driving and the brakes no longer work, there's a possibility that we could crash.
And we could be in trouble because we have this crazy engine right here next to us.
Yeah. And we have to be driving this and pushing the brakes the way they did in the movie.
And that could be a big problem.
I mean, we have so much room back here.
Yeah.
What if we just push everything back so that way, if we do crash, we have a huge crumple zone in the front, and then we'll be okay?
I think that'll work.
You know, we'll just have like a really long, ridiculous steering wheel, and like the pedals, we can just have extenders.
Let's do it. Wow, that looks cool already.
Pretend like you're driving.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah. So we have right now just this pipe that extends, and that's gonna be where we put our foot pressure on to use the brake. But what we wanted to do is, in case we crash, we're using nylon threaded rod in here. So if we do crash, this shears, and then we don't get impaled by our brake and steering extensions. All right, we're gonna test that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that feels good.
Perfect, all right.
And it returns beautifully.
Good. Here, this is the pedal for you there. Here, it slides up. Now, this is the most dangerous one. This is the one that really needs to be able to collapse.
Yes.
That's just gonna be a big harpoon right through your chest. All right, try that.
Oh.
It looks good to me.
Yep.
How are we gonna shift this thing?
Maybe something we can triangulate down to the floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this.
In all my years of building cars, I've never seen or done anything as intricate as this.
All right, I think we're ready to test this baby.
I'm excited, I'm ready. Look at everything that we've accomplished here.
Yeah.
Ah, this is good.
Oh, yeah.
This is the life.
This is gonna be so weird driving. So to test this myth safely, we've come out to a parking lot where there's hardly anything to crash into. We're gonna drive around the course a couple of times, make 2 stops, and then hopefully that third stop won't work. So in order to stop, we've set up some water barrels that will stop the van safely, similar to what you would see on a freeway. We have our braking system, we got our steering and our accelerator. We have this emergency brake here, plus we have our shifter. And the best part is we have a kill switch to shut off the engine, and in order to start the engines, we got our start switch right here.
Now, above and beyond that, this myth is chock full of data. So just like we did on our test rig, we are going to monitor the entire pressure in the hydraulic system at all times.
So we'll know exactly at what point, which was 208 PSI,
Understood.
where this van won't stop anymore.
Yes, but you know what? I may just stay here because this is so
Yeah, it's very plush.
Well, in our small scale test, I had the opportunity to crack open just about 20%. So for safety's sake, let's just ease into this by cracking the line just 10% of a whole turn.
We're at the starting line right now. We're gonna go down, make a hard stop like in the movie. I'll come around here, But on the second brake, it was a little bit eased off.
But if you recall, in the movie, they turned the vehicle off.
So we'll do that. And
Yes.
then we'll sit there and wait, and then we'll start it up again.
Right.
And then we'll come around again and see whether or not we have braking power.
Yes, sounds good. Okay.
So it was just like a tiny little crack.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. It was just maybe just one digit on this nut. Okay, that's it. It was that simple.
This is starting to feel like a bad idea. All right, Bisi, here we go.
Are you pretty excited?
Yes.
This is our maiden voyage.
This is the most ridiculous vehicle I've ever seen. This is strange. It's like driving a boat. There's like a lot of leeway. Look how much play I
I would
have
bet you were still going
in the
straight.
steering wheel. We are literally backseat drivers.
This is ridiculous.
Strange brew test. 2 stops and then no brakes.
Okay, so this first one, once again, was abrupt.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
You are at
speed
25 miles an hour. Okay. Oh, that's good.
We got
that's
one
good.
stop.
And let's take a look at how much we had there.
Okay.
We are at wow, that's a lot of PSI.
784
Okay.
PSI.
22 miles an hour. So I'm gonna clear that up. Keep on trucking. Okay, nice.
Okay.
So the second one is a not so abrupt stop.
Right. They eased into it, and then they actually stopped
Right.
the engine.
Okay, that's good. Let's see
Okay.
how much we had there. 260.
Okay, so now
Oh,
what I'm gonna do
close.
is I'm gonna turn off the engine.
How does it feel? Does it
Yeah, no,
feel
it's
spongy or?
It does. It feels good. All right.
Feels good.
We're ready.
Oh boy,
Here we
she
go.
wants to go. I'm kind of afraid.
All right, so this is it.
Oh, it stops. Huh.
All right. Well, let's go back to the starting line. In that first run, we didn't open the brake line enough to make the brakes fail. Let's crank it up a little bit more this time.
And see if we can bleed it some more.
We'll bleed it some more. All right.
By turning our wrench the same amount as our bench test, 20% of a full turn. And I will top off the brake fluid. I'm kind of nervous.
I just got a little nervous myself. It's like, wait, we are intentionally making our brakes fail.
Why are you revving?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm excited. Here we go.
Okay.
So the first stop is abrupt. All right, we gotta stop.
Okay. 569. So the second one, it wasn't so abrupt.
Yeah, it was more of a feathered, regular stop. What was that? Oh, we're at 223. Just 15 PSI above the failure point.
Yeah. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good.
Feels good still?
Yeah. So then they stopped their engine.
Right.
So now this is the last attempt to see if we can stop.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm cautiously titillated.
You're cautiously titillated.
Yes.
This is the moment of truth. Here we go into our last stop. All right, here comes our stop. This is it. This better work.
24 miles an hour.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my God.
I got no brakes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the emergency brake.
Oh my God. Well, guess what? Myth is confirmed.
We were going 25 miles an hour when we hit those water barrels.
That water barrel, it was like almost hitting a wall. Why are you so excited?
Because we
It's
survived.
terrifying.
And better yet, we confirmed the myth.
Yeah, but
You can open the brake line just enough to get 2 stops and then nothing. We did it, Bisi.
I have no idea why he's so excited. So look at the pressure that we generated in our hydraulic system after the second manipulation.
191 PSI.
191 PSI, which is below our 208 that we saw on the bench.
That's beautiful. The barrel's a good idea, no?
Yeah, very good idea. But at least our van is still intact, and you know what that means?
We'll go get burgers.
I'm actually quite hungry.
Yeah, all that adrenaline makes me hungry.
Oh, no. We have to fix the brakes first.
Oh, good plan. Good plan.
This is my dream come true.
Yeah, could I get a French fry and a small milkshake? How much?
What do you think of our van?
So when you were ordering, this guy.
The team has installed a turbocharger on their hybrid car. So it's time to test the myth and find out whether it improves fuel efficiency or it turns it into a gas guzzler. First up, on the 14-mile flat road run.
All right, PC.
Wow. I'm nervous because I heard a turbo spool.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, and it just sounded like gas was just, depleting. Okay.
So last time we burned through 1.88 pounds of fuel.
Yeah. Oh, that's so close.
Oh, 1.8 pounds.
1.83.
So we got 44.7 miles per gallon on the run without our turbo.
Yes, and now we're at 45.9.
Almost 46 miles
Almost
per
46.
gallon. But wait, Bisi, we did figure that here on a flat ground, it was probably going to be close.
Yes, that's
because
correct.
we're not really using the turbo.
It's so close. We consumed 1.88 before pre-turbo.
Yeah.
With a turbo, we improved
Yep.
1.83.
I'm impressed.
Well, we still have to go up the hill, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, this is Mountain Roads test hybrid with a turbo.
Yep, 7 down, 7 back up.
Here we go. I feel like this test is gonna give us the answer we're looking for. See, we got a little uphill climb here.
Oh, boy.
I hear that turbo working.
Oh, not good.
See, it's interesting. I feel like the turbo really didn't have a chance to work that hard when we were driving near the beach.
You're correct.
Now we're giving him a little bit of a challenge.
Plus, that little hill we did right now, all of my assist is gone from the electric motors. My battery is completely depleted.
Oh, no.
So I need to get some downhill to charge it back up, but we're all petrol engine right now.
So on this downhill, you could start charging.
So I am charging, so I got 1 bar to my battery right now.
Good.
So any of the energy I'm using for engine braking and throwing away, or energy I'm using for braking, goes back regeneratively into the battery pod.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the hybrid.
Yes, it is.
But now we've added a turbo that may have negated the effectiveness of the hybrid.
We'll see.
Heading back up the hill. Now the hard part.
Oh boy, okay. I don't think anything's gonna prevent us from consuming fuel on these hills.
We've literally been going in turbo mode this whole way.
You hear it?
Yeah. Will the turbo make a difference on the hybrid? We are about to find out.
I'm afraid. Tory, that was really nerve-wracking.
You know what, though? One thing I did notice, our fuel gauge went way down.
Yes, that makes sense
Yeah,
because
it does
we're
make
going
sense.
up and down, but how does it compare to the pounds of fuel that we consumed last time we were here pre-turbo?
Okay, 27.2.
So, what do we get miles per gallon?
29.9 miles per gallon.
Yeah, pretty much 30 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
So we lost a few miles.
All right.
Why do I feel that you're so excited about these results?
Well, I had a feeling that adding the turbo, we would consume more fuel. And this actually confirms what I was saying. But this is hard because it's like on a perfect driving situation on a flat road, it was confirmed. Putting the turbo in the hybrid actually made it more fuel efficient.
But out here in the mountains, closer to even normal driving with undulations going up and down, we actually consumed more fuel, which doesn't really surprise me. Overall, the aftermarket turbo kit removed restrictions in the intake and exhaust that allow for better breathability, which translates to more efficiency. On the dyno, the stock engine did 32.3 miles per gallon. With the turbo, it improved by 4 more miles per gallon. When the turbo was in the real world, it only spooled on the flat road, and the electric assist did not kick in, so we saved 1.3 miles per gallon. Here in the hills, the turbo was very active, and the electric motor also engaged multiple times, but compared to the stock engine, it lost 3.5 miles per gallon.
Yeah, so I'm guessing maybe we meet in the middle and we call this one plausible.
I agree with you.
But you know what, though, BC? This is called hybrid hot rod,
Yes.
and this hybrid is far from a hot rod right now.
Yes, I agree. And adding a turbo is hot rod, and it gave us a gain of 85 more horsepower.
I think we should take it back to the shop and do a little bit of work on it.
I have an idea, too. Just something else I want to play with on this vehicle as well.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
You know, I haven't touched the hybrid side, as in the electric side, so I need to play around with that a little bit.
All right.
And see if I can eke up a little bit more power and make this even more enjoyable.
Blade Runner and RoboCop are two of my most favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Gene Winfield is a customizing guru and hot rod builder. He's designed everything from model kits to iconic motion picture vehicles. So there's no one better qualified to help complete the transformation from humble hybrid to hybrid hot rod.
Do you think of something that's retro or something really futuristic?
It's a piece of crap. But we can save it. No, it's all right. It's typical of today's car. There's so many of them that look the same.
Yeah.
I've got some ideas already.
Gene sketched some designs and then went to work. He started at the front of the vehicle, but focused mostly on the rear bumper.
You know how fortunate we are to see this firsthand?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
By cutting this back, the bars will follow through.
And then do you see, like, the inside? Once we cut this out, we're gonna have this empty space.
Well, it's going to be
Trying
like
to-
this.
Yeah, okay.
It was an honor to have him work with us. And now that we have some design inspiration, it's finally time to turn this hybrid into a hot rod.
Okay, so I'm gonna start working on the design that Gene Winfield helped us come up with. We taped up the original bumper, but now that we have these fiberglass pieces, we need to tape these up and actually cut and fabricate on top of this piece.
The hood is a little bit wacky with this giant hole and the turbo sticking out of the top. So we're gonna build in a hood scoop. So this is kind of an Ed Big Daddy Roth thing. Big Daddy would use plaster, and he'd have a chassis with the engine and the transmission, and he would just kind of throw like a drop cloth or something over it, and then he would just start loading plaster and sculpt the top of it. So for us, we're just gonna throw this tape all over it and cover the critical components.
Rose and Tori are making great progress on the bodywork, so I'm going to turn my attention to unlocking more power in the electric motor. Now, I want to use a try-and-true tuner secret, which is using resistors to trick the factory ECU into doing things we want. In this case, I'm going to put together what is known as a fooler system so that the high voltage system can think that the current it's receiving is less than it actually is. And by doing that, we'll get a nice boost in electric power.
The scoop is taking shape, give it kind of a shell so it gains some height, a little bit of clearance. We covered the turbo. We went from the center to the back of the hood to make this transition, and that's kind of what it's saying to me. It's saying, make it small at the front and open it up at the back.
Wow, that's it. So now I have the ECU out. I'm gonna open this up, modify it accordingly with simple resistors to give me a nice boost of electrical power.
The design's coming together perfectly. We just need to add a few more bars across just to complete the grille. Gene would be proud. Yeah.
I knew it'd be a challenge to turn this hybrid into a hot rod, but we did the best we could with what we had. But hey, that's what the essence of hot rodding is all about. With our modifications complete, we gave it a Motor MythBusters paint job and took it to the track for another test.
Look at this, just take a step back. I mean, look at how beautiful that is.
It's very, like, Fast and the Furious-esque, isn't
Right?
it?
Look at this beautiful duct tape wrap.
That,
That's probably my favorite part of the entire aesthetic.
Well, above and beyond the aesthetic appeal, in the rear, I have what is known as a proper fooler to enhance the electrical side of the hybrid system.
Oh, so how does that work?
Well, what it does, it intercepts the signal to the motor control module and tricks it using 5 relays that allow for interruption of signals and reducing signals to the MCM. And the controller thinks, wait a minute, I'm not getting as much power as I want out of the motor. So it sends more power to it, hence getting fooled and creating more energy for us.
Gosh, so this thing must actually do pretty good.
It's like electric nitrous.
Oh.
I think we've talked about this enough. I think it's time we race for pink slips.
I like that.
Yeah.
The future versus
the past.
The dinosaurs.
No, the classic.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, and it's tradition. The time has come to christen our Hot Rod Hybrid.
Now, this clearly isn't a very even drag race.
3, 2, 1, go!
This Ford Roadster dominates.
Nice work!
But Bisi was so excited about the modifications, we wanted to give him a chance to show them off.
So, to make sure that everything is set up, in this car, we have the gasoline side and electric side in perfect unison, but I want to optimize everything. So on the gasoline side, I'm gonna put everything in sport mode, and for the electric motor, I have this fooler setup that acts like an electronic boost setup. So with a press of a button, it's gonna send more energy to electric motors, and I'll have a nice amount of boost of power.
Are you ready, Bisi?
3, 2, 1.
You gotta wait till we say go.
Oh my goodness, it's perfect. It is perfect.
That was probably the most fun I've ever had with the hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I could really tell from the look on your face.
You're so happy.
That's not hard to say.
We should really be proud of ourselves. We took this vehicle that was a factory ho-hum hybrid and made it into a masterpiece involving technology and aesthetics. It's amazing, and it's so much fun to drive. It really is.
Building our own hybrid hot rod. This was just, I mean, it was so ridiculous, but so much fun. All right, should we head home?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Right,
absolutely.
race ya.
Sure.
We're gonna take the scenic route.
Absolutely. We're gonna take it slow. Enjoy the beauty.